The Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci beginning in 1503, is widely considered the most famous painting in the world, yet for many first-time viewers, it is underwhelming. Unlike the dramatic and colorful masterpieces surrounding it in the Louvre, it is modest in size, quiet in tone, and appears at first glance almost ordinary. A woman sits calmly, her hands folded gently, her face composed, her expression enigmatic yet subtle. This apparent simplicity masks centuries of innovation, technique, and scientific understanding, because the Mona Lisa is far more than a portrait. It is the culmination of the genius of Leonardo da Vinci, a man whose intellect transcended art and encompassed the sciences, engineering, anatomy, hydrodynamics, optics, and geology. Leonardo was a polymath, a thinker who understood that art and science were inseparable and that knowledge gained in one field could inform the other. In 1516, when Leonardo was in his 60s, he accepted an invitation from the young French King Francis I to serve as court painter, engineer, and architect. Leaving behind the turbulence of Italy, he moved to France, bringing with him the Mona Lisa, dozens of notebooks, and countless inventions, including designs for flying machines, war devices, and architectural plans. At the Château du Clos-Luz, Leonardo spent the final years of his life continuing to refine the Mona Lisa, a painting that would occupy him for 16 years, demonstrating his relentless pursuit of perfection. This was not a typical commission. Leonardo did not simply paint a woman for her status or beauty. He transformed Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a Florentine merchant named Francesco del Giocondo, into a study of light, perception, and psychology. Recent research confirms that Leonardo painted Lisa over many years, continuously adjusting her expression, her hands, and even the landscape behind her. Scientific analysis reveals that he used a thin panel of poplar wood coated with lead white to create a reflective underlayer, then applied as many as 30 transparent glazes, each layer thinner than a human hair, to create an inner glow, a depth, and subtle transitions of light and shadow that were unprecedented. He pioneered the use of sfumato, a technique that allows colors and shadows to blend seamlessly, erasing hard edges and producing a face that seems to shift as the viewer moves, a living presence rather than a static image. Her eyes, painted to face forward, appear to follow observers no matter their angle, a deliberate optical effect that gives her an uncanny sense of life. The Mona Lisa's smile is perhaps her most famous feature, a subtle curl that seems to appear and disappear depending on whether one looks at her eyes or her mouth directly. Modern neuroscientists explain this phenomenon through the differences between central and peripheral vision, confirming that Leonardo's deep understanding of optics and human perception allowed him to manipulate light, shadow, and anatomy to create an expression that engages viewers across centuries. Her attire, modest and stripped of jewelry, was intentional, ensuring that attention remained on her face, her expression, and her personality rather than her social status. The landscape behind her, with winding rivers, icy mountains, and twisting paths, is entirely imaginary, yet grounded in Leonardo's meticulous studies of geology, hydrodynamics, and sedimentary layers. The horizon is slightly skewed while her shoulders remain level, a visual trick that creates a sense of subtle movement and harmony between figure and environment. The painting's fame grew slowly but steadily, aided centuries later by its dramatic theft in 1911, when a Louvre worker removed it from its frame and hid it under his coat. The global media frenzy that followed introduced millions of people to a painting they had never seen, instantly transforming the Mona Lisa from a celebrated artistic work into a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Over the years, attempts to vandalize it, along with countless reproductions, parodies, and references in films, cartoons, and literature, cemented her place in popular imagination. Leonardo's genius, combined with the painting's optical illusions, meticulous technique, and psychological depth, ensured that the Mona Lisa was not just a portrait, but an enduring symbol of human curiosity, observation, and artistic innovation, a masterpiece whose fame is as much a product of history as it is of artistry.